Hey, welcome everybody to our very first class for Fantasy Arts. Welcome to Fantasy Island. Hey, I'm Derek T. Stevens. The T stands for Too Awesome to Be True. That's awesome. That's what it stands for. Then I got Ponyboy Nelson. He's my handler tonight. Both of us are sitting in our thongs, bunny slippers, and cowboy hats. Although we are states and hours and even time zones apart, we're connected in spirit. And we're going to bring you one hell of a show tonight. So with that said, tonight what we're going to do is we're going to go over elves heads, ears, and I want to kind of touch on the orcs. This is fantasy class, man. We've got all sorts of stuff that we're going to delve into. I want to delve into the Medusa. I want to delve into like fairy tale fantasy stuff. Of course, we're going to do fairies and fairy art, study wings, and one of the biggest components I've not taught yet in any classes is clothing. I'm going to show you how to do ruffles. I want you to how the folds work. We're going to go over hair braids, different layered hair compared to straight hair. So we're going to have a huge class, and I'm excited about it. What I do for 3D Buzz, I teach a myriad of classes. For those who don't know me, I'm a freelance artist. That's what I do by trade. It's awesome but very lonely life. I'm not the best artist yet in the world, but by God, I'm working to be there. And I say this, if I'm anytime going too fast, I want you to raise your hand so Ponyboy Nelson can see that when you tell me to slow down. I'm going to repeat myself. I just did it. Are you laughing? And some of the things that we do, because I'm a firm believer that being teaching with repetitiveness, it allows you to see things a couple times over. I know there's been some concern about live classes moving along too fast and this and that, and I don't want to be that guy where I push you through. So if you have any questions at any time, raise your hand. What I'm going to do is I'm a firm believer in doing a 5-minute SketchUp. This allows me to get my hands and my eye coordination flowing with my brain, my right side. That is your creative side. So what we're all going to do is we're going to file. We're going to go to new. I'm going to put this at 300 DPI. By the way, Steve, suck it. And we're going to do 30 by 30. I can say that's Steve because I work with him. He is a new instructor here at 3D Buzz, and he's coloring tons of card art. Seriously, tons. It's like 241 cards. I get to draw them all, and he gets to drop color on them all. So I can tell him that. And one last thing before we start. One of the cool things that we're going to be doing at 3D Buzz, we're not going to guarantee any job placement. We can't do that. I don't want to lie to anybody. But I'm getting more and more contacts with lots of studios. There's a studio called Shot in the Dark Comics. I'm actually inking a book for them. And the more I talked to her, she was really impressed with 3D Buzz. And I told her, hey, if you need artists, I got tons of artists to pick from. And I say this to say that if this is something you want to do and you think you're at a level where you can be, make money at it, we're going to find a place on the website, get your links to your work, and I'll get you in contact with the head of studios at Shot in the Dark Comics. And it's a tryout. It's for a professional book. Now, if you get the contract, I'm out of the picture. I mean, I'll be there for moral support and to help you out some technical things, but you have to honor the contract. You have to do the work. But we hope to get more and more individuals, more clients and studios to help our artists start off a huge and great career. So, and even if you're not that level, I'm glad you're here because we're going to start learning right now. I started out with a 300 DPI, dots per inch, 30 by 30. I'm going to come over here to, actually my first pass, I was going to blue. Let me drag this screen down here like this. I'm going to create a layer on top of this. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw something nice and simple. Now, I invite you to draw along if you want with me, or you can draw your own thing. What I intend to do is draw something nice and cute, something very easy for 5 minutes. And then what we're going to do is take your screens. We can show your screens and talk the pros and cons. And then we're going to jump right into the lesson. All right, you guys ready to warm up? Yes, I am. You are? Yes, I am. Mr. Thimble says yes, and he lives in my thumb. So, Mr. Nelson, Mr. Ponyboy himself, can you please tell me when to start? What I'm going to do is draw a little chippy elf-like creature thing. Okay, here we go.
Alrighty. Well, I think you should start right about now.
All right, so everything tying into basic shapes. I'm going to do a circle for the head, maybe score or make the chin a little bit pointed right here because elves have pointed features. Even in the chippy world, I'm going to bring this down here like this. Nice little rectangle, little crotch area going on. Another little rectangle for feet or for legs. And then I'll bring these little feet out like this here. And then little areas here for the arms and the hands. Again, this is, again, a very quick 5-minute fun sort of exercise. Some of my elf's ears come out here like this. And then, let's see, that'll be the nice first pass. So I'm going to create another layer on top of this, come back to the first layer where I change my opacity down, go back to the second layer, and I'll pick a darker color and we'll start actually doing some detailed stuff. I'm going to build some hair on top of this guy like this. And I'm going to make it very angular, like this. This quick. Hold on, I don't like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. This is where the hair splits in the middle. Here we go, like this. I'm going to trace this area where the chin is at. I'll make him smile like this. And if you hear the banshee in the background, that is my 4-year-old girl. That was her party, and she can cry if she wants to. She turned 4 today. Okay, got the face going on, ears, and what I'm going to do is here I'll just give him kind of a high color or a little belt thing. Coat area like this, crotch, we'll give him some leg plates like that. Make these nice boots. We'll bring this up like that and give him a little Tinkerbell doodad thingy going on. How am I doing on time, Mr. Nelson?
You have almost exactly 3 minutes left.
Plenty of time then. What I'm going to do here is get rid of that bottom layer, and then I can bring this all together like this. And what we'll do here is we'll just give him an arrow and his hand like this. Now chippies, they don't really have fingers. Straight line like this. And I think I drew my bow and arrow backwards, Mr. Nelson. Hold on, let me go back. Step backwards, get my brush. Okay, let's set them up like this. There we go. And then throw some little runes right here. Some eyebrows going on. And then behind him, because we're definitely going to be talking about dragons. I'll draw his tail up there like this. His little bitty hands. So we did this in plenty of time. My hand feels pretty good. It's a good exercise. I got 5 minutes down easily. So I look forward to seeing what you guys did. And all we did was use basic shapes, triangles, rectangles, and circles. So that's kind of how the class is going to go. Of course, when I actually do lecture, I'm going to go a lot slower. I'm going to repeat myself. I'm going to give you guys enough time to follow along. And I encourage you to ask questions. Very important. Some of the earlier classes we had, we didn't have a lot of participation. And that hurts. It hurts me as an instructor because I don't know if I'm communicating properly. If I'm not, there's no learning going on, then I'm not doing my job. So again, if there's questions, make sure you raise your hand. How are we doing on time?
We have about 40 seconds left.
All right. Well, hell's bells, I moved way too fast on this little bitty exercise. Maybe I should have moved a little bit slower. Mr. Ponyboy Nelson, any special announcements going on that you need to tell the guys and gals?
There's a fantasy art class that's starting today.
Fantasy art, and that's strange you should say that because it's starting today right now, but I also do an MMO art class on Wednesdays, 9 Eastern time, and this kind of ties in really well what we're doing to the MMO class. So I encourage everybody here to also tune in to the MMO class at 9 Eastern. I'm always looking for more artists. I need some more art leads. We're putting together a slick, awesome comic book to kickstart the story of the Aletheans. Mr. Ponyboy Nelson's working on a level proof of concept for the MMO class. We have a rich backstory. And again, I encourage anybody who wants to be an artist, anybody who has a dream, because when the game gets made, and it will get made by golly, you'll get credit. And it'd be great to put on a resume, you know, you're an art lead for this, or you were responsible for these art assets here. And later on, we'll delve into 3D modeling, and I hope to teach a class on Maya coming up very soon, because I'm a firm believer, if you can draw, you can model. It's just that simple. So you're just looking at things in a different realm, a 3D realm. But if you can draw, conceptualize, you're going to be able to see the shapes and patterns to make vertices do what you want them to do. And that should be 5 minutes.
You're about 55 seconds over.
Oh, sorry. I was on a tirade and a rant. So there's our little cartoon elf. And no, we're not going to draw this style tonight. I mean, it's a cute, easy, simple style, but that's not what this class is all about. I wanted to get something nice and simple. Does anybody want to show their screen real quick? And then we can move on.
Hands up if you guys want some comments about what you guys put together. And we immediately have a Mr. Leonard.
Rock on, Mr. Leonard.
Greetings.
Hello, Leonard. Man, dude, sorry about last night. We had major storms moving through here. I was wrapping up my anatomy and physiology class.
Yeah.
I
Hopefully it all panned out.
It did. My girls were getting out of school just as all this was going on, and their vacation Bible school got canceled. That's where they were supposed to go, and things just got crazy, and I don't want my wife driving. Anyway, I appreciate your patience, and I apologize for that, but I am anxious to see what's going on with you. Look at that little guy.
Here's my little guy.
Lucky one.
Yeah.
Actually, I like how you put the sword almost like straight forward, but just enough of an angle to make it look interesting. I like the earrings. Well done.
Hey, thank you.
You're quite welcome. And I hope you did learn some stuff in anatomy and physiology. It's going to be very helpful in this class. And for those who are not in the anatomy and physiology class, you can find that online. Nelson has made it very easy now to navigate. You can catch up with all the MMO classes, the Drawing 101, 102, Sci-Fi, and I encourage you to go explore and stream them or download them, whatever you got to do, and be a better artist and make me a better instructor. Leonard, any questions, sir?
Not that arise right at the moment.
I like the word arise. Indeed.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir. Continue on with a great job that you're doing.
No, thank you. And you keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir. Do appreciate it. All right. Anybody else want to share what they've gotten so far?
All right, looks like next up we have a Mr. Wolf.
Mr. Wolf, speaking of the devil.
Oh,
Hey, man. How you doing?
fine. Just kind of playing catch up here. I started after you're already on the second layer.
Well done. Mr. Wolf in his own right. When I come back to you later on tonight, Mr. Wolf, what I want you to do is pull up like one of your first drawings and your last drawings you've done so far in class. Basically, one of your first worst drawings and then your awesome kick-ass art that you're doing now. Because I definitely want to have proof is in the pudding. Wolf has not only been in almost every one of my classes, but he's also working very hard outside of class to continue to learn. And he is the one dropping color on all the comic books so far, and it's one hell of a great job. So I like your little elf. Well done, Mr. Wolf.
Thanks.
Quite welcome, sir. Quite welcome indeed. All right, remember, I need that you're bad and you're good, and
Yeah,
I'll be the ugly.
yeah. I need to look for that because I didn't save any of those to JPEG. I don't think. So.
All right, no worries. We'll come back to you in a little bit, my friend.
All right.
Anybody else?
Next up we have a Miss Jane.
Sad. Jane, I love you, baby. I'm glad you're here.
Hello.
Jane, how do you say your last name?
Gimple.
Yeah,
J is silent.
silly Canucks. All right, looking good.
Oh, it's Yugoslavian.
Oh, well, Canucks are still silly. That doesn't matter.
Americans are sillier.
Yes, but we're sexy and somewhat fat, but that's neither here nor there.
Sexist?
It's sexy.
Sexist, did you say?
Sexy. I'm bringing sexy back. I like the elf. I like the eyes. I love the little crooked grin that you gave him. I like his little vest and your legs and your feet. Because I remember in anatomy and physiology we were talking about they're just basically triangles. You got a good position going on. Well done. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Quite welcome, ma'am. I'm glad you're here tonight.
Thanks. Missed
Leonard's
yesterday.
Leonard's not, but I'm glad you're here. Thank you, ma'am. Who's next?
Next up, we have a Chelsea.
Oh my God, Chelsea's in class. Everyone watch out for this girl. She's a freak on a leash.
Hello.
You so did not follow along. That's all right because you don't
No, I
follow
didn't.
along.
You said we didn't have to.
You don't have to. You don't have to. You're not a sheep. You're your own person. And your dad makes sure of that. I like it. I love this simplistic little dress that she has on. I love the fairy wings. I love the subtle pointed ears that I would just love to nibble on. I like pointed ears. That's my Bill Clinton. Because if he was here, he'd say, I love the pointed ears. They're all good. And I really love, if you look at her feet, ladies and gentlemen, everyone listening right now, and again in the anatomy and physiology class, when I draw women, now not all women stand like this, okay? I'm just talking about in comic books and concept art that I do. I give that nice arch to the foot where it's almost always pointed. It helps elongate, makes them look taller. And anyway, that's what media says beauty is. Chelsea did a great job. I'm proud of you, girl.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you're here again because I seen
I'm
you on
here.
Xbox. And I'm like, she's not going to show up to class.
I showed up. I totally showed up.
I know you did. Shut the front door. I'm glad you're here. All right, get rid of her, Mr. Nelson. She's a weirdo.
All right.
I see how it is.
Next up, we have another member of this Curtis clan, Miss Sydney.
Hello.
Hello, Sydney.
What's up?
How you doing? I love her eyes. I love the position. I love those big-ass boots you got going on. She is a cutie.
Danke.
Bitte. Bitte, baby, bitte. Okay, the reversed angle on your arm, the elbow, very stylistic. I want to give you props on that. And the other thing, I really want to give you props on your hands. Thumb.
My hands are funny looking.
You know what, though? This isn't reality. This is a very cartoony style. So for less than 5 minutes, you did a great job. And I don't want to scare anybody off on here, okay? You might be looking at you know, whoever's artwork you're looking at. I mean, I know this is Sid, obviously. But not everyone has the same art style or the same skill level, and that's okay. We're here to learn, and we're here to get better. I'm very proud of you, Miss Sydney. I'm anxious to come down there. I'll be there 7 July 13.
Cool, cool.
We'll hang out. I have a feeling you and I are going to be doing lots of new stuff together to put on the BuzzWeb. Because Nelson's going to be gone.
Yeah.
I know, bastard. But I love him anyway. He needs to go. All right, get rid of this weirdo, too. No more Steven Clan people. They're freaks, man.
Hate is gonna hate.
Hate is going to hate, baby. She.
Hello and welcome to Modern JavaScript Week.
What?
Sorry, I clicked on something and it started speaking to me. Okay, so no more Curtises. So next up...
Well, Steve, I'm going to let Steve. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Well, that was the joke,
So
actually.
he brings up a Curtis.
Oh, my God. Really? Suck it.
Just in case anybody was afraid of the awesome art that the two girls were doing, here you go.
It's still not bad. I like the little dragon going on. You drew exactly almost what I was needing to do. And I like your bow and arrow a lot better. Even though your arrow looks a little broken.
The rest of it's behind his back.
Okay, I gotcha. It's good. How you doing, Mr. Steve?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
It's been an interesting day. My Banshee, like I said, is in the background crying. She's all hopped up on cake and ice cream. And again, it's her party. She can cry if she wants to. Real quick, while I have you on there, do you want to tell them about the class that's coming up that you'll be teaching?
I do have a class in concept environments for both film and games, and that is currently planned to go out multiple classes so that by the end you will actually have modeled assets in a game and or a completed match shot for film.
Exactly. And do you mind if I'm going to tell them a little bit of what may be going on, and is kind of going on since you brought that up. Now, not so much this class here, because it wasn't geared for that app, because I made the syllabus way, way before everything else is going on. But Steve and I have talked. And again, going back to helping with job placement, we can't guarantee anything, but I want to help hook you up to the right people so at least you can have a shot. In doing so, that means you need to have a kick-ass killer portfolio. So Steve and I in our classes, we're going to gear it where you start out with A, but by the class end, you're going to have a couple of good pieces for your portfolio. And we've also talked about, I might teach, it's almost a layout comic book design sort of thing for a graphic novel. That we have some ideas for to get students involved in doing this, because when you do a novel for or just a 25-page comic book, you have to worry about all sorts of things, your anatomy, your physiology. You have to worry about the angles, because you are the cameraman. It's going to be bird's eye, worm's eye view. What angle is this going to look like? How fast do you want to pace everything? So there's a lot of lessons that we've been teaching there. And again, I say this to say that we're starting to gear up. Whenever you complete a class, you're going to get one hell of a piece for your portfolio. That's why it's important to do your homework. There's a lot more going on that I will not say just yet, but hold on to your britches, because it's going to be one hell of an awesome wild ride. Did I leave anything else out, Mr. Steve, that I can talk about?
I think you about covered it, but once again, you have to put a quarter in the jar.
What did I do?
For the thing that's being recorded. You know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
We'll discuss it later.
All right, I'm in my own little world. My thong, oh, looky there, nice. Some of the card pieces Steve is doing for us out of the 204. That's number 241 right there out of 241. Anyway, I'll be quiet.
Just to this is where Derek will take you guys, so stick with it.
And Steve has come a long way as well, and his environments are just will blow you away. Can you pull one of your environments up as well, just real quick? I just want to give you a small tease, because I want everyone to see what possibilities. Because we really are 3D Buzz trying to go through the gambit of everything that may come up to get you to where you want to be. That's going to take work on your part. We're going to be there. We're going to do some great things for you, but if you don't do the homework, bad mojo happens. Kittens will cry.
There you go.
Nice. So Steve will be doing environment work like this, discussing how we put everything together, the water effects, the lighting, the subtle lighting, where you put spot blacks at, and breaking it all down.
And a shot like this will actually be what we work on in the very first class. Stuff that is very fast, speed painting, that gets you quick concepts.
Well done, Mr. Steve. I appreciate you. Now go away. Hey, Steve. Suck it.
Suck it.
Suck it. Okay, thank you.
There we go. I
Who's
muted him
next?
just for you.
I love Steve. Who's next?
Mr. Raphael?
Raphael. I haven't heard from Raphael in a long time, man. How you doing, dude?
Hi, thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. I like your line width variation, your line weight going on right there. He looks sad. What happened to him, man?
Oh, I don't know. I just happened.
It just happened. I like it. I like the expressive eyes. You've come a long way. I'm very proud of you. Very proud of you. Keep it
Thank
up.
you.
I'm glad that you're here, sir. We got
Thank
to
you.
keep moving. Hey, no worries. We got to keep moving on because we got lots of lecture to do tonight. Who's next, Mr. Nelson?
The next and final victim is Mr. Clinton.
I like Mr. Clinton. How you doing, Clinton?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How you doing? Hey, Grandma.
Oh, sorry about that. I haven't been on one of these before. As you can see in the background, I've been trying to catch up with 101 and 102.
I love your werewolf, dude.
Thanks.
That is a kick-butt werewolf. That is really
Thanks.
good. So this is your first time in a live class?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you're here, man. And again, there's no such thing as a silly question. except I am prettier than Nelson will ever be, so don't ask that. That would be a silly question. But I'm really glad that you're here. I wanted it to be as interactive for you as possible. I'm very glad that you're getting some useful information out of Drawing 101, 102. And if you have any questions about those particular classes, just give me a PM in my box, and I'll try to get back to you in a timely fashion.
Well, thanks.
Hey, no problem. I'm proud of you. You ready to kick it some butt? Because we're going to be drawing some hot-looking elf chicks, because that's all I love, drawing women with pointed ears. I can't help it. It's a sickness, I tell you.
Sure, let's get to it.
Roger that. Mr. Clinton, I am very glad that you're here. Thank you for being a part of this, dude.
Thanks.
Roger that. All right, Mr. Nelson, Mr. Ponyboy himself. All right. Here we go. Coffee, awesomeness. Real quick, just to show, it's not what I wanted. Here we go. All right, here's an elf chick that I drew that was turned down from Heavy Cat Studios out in LA. So just to show that, hey, and again, pointed ears, eye patches, drives me wild, chicks like that. Okay, here's a barbarian guy, another one for Heavy Cat they actually did accept. So this is what we're going to kind of be moving towards, because we just wrapped up with anatomy physiology, talking about more dynamic poses. And if you've not taken the anatomy class, I strongly suggest you do that. I break things down with your deltoids, biceps, triceps, all the muscles in your legs, how to draw hands and feet. Now I'm going to do that again here for us as well. But it's good to have a good base understanding of what's going on. So what we're going to do now is, I'm going to move this a bit out of the way right here. We're going to draw on this little piece of paper here. The image size is only 72 dpi. Actually, I'm going to put this up to 300. And it's 11 by 11 by 7, 6. There's the measurements. You hit OK. And then what we're going to do here is draw, draw more of a manga looking elf, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with something a little more cartoony, as to speak. I'll make another layer right here. I'm going to name it Head Lay Start. And I'll come back to my head layer here, get the opacity. I'm going to bring it down a little bit like this to make it more transparent. Go back to head lay start. And I'm going to get, shoot, we'll start with the black. How's that? All right, if you notice the shape, let me get my brush going on. It's almost like an egg. We're going to come down through here. And this is a zygomatic bone right through here where your eyebrow's at. And in art class, in drawing 101, I think it was 101, I forget what class it was now, I always talked about the V right in through here. That V is really pronounced, especially in like a 3/4 view, and that's what we're doing. We're doing a 3/4 view, so you want to make sure that you get the V going on. So you're going to come down here and make your V. Trace back down here. So she's a little chubby, but she's cute. Again, very manga type style. And you're going to follow along through here like this. And we're going to talk a lot about the ears. I'm going to, you know, while we're here, let's just draw the ears. An ear for an elf. And I apologize for those who've already heard it in the anatomy physiology class, but the ear's shaped like this. And you have two different canals. You have one that comes up through here like this, one that comes down here like this. So it almost looks like an eye in a mask. Then I'll bring up my brush just a little bit. And what I call these, they're like, they hold up walls. Mr. Ponyboy, what am I talking about? Words escape me.
Which word are you
Structure. You hold up structures with them.
Scaffolding?
Braces. Yeah, scaffolding, that works for me. Okay, so you have this one here, and as for an elf, you're going to have another one that comes through here because the ear's so elongated. And then you're going to have your actual ear canal through here. So that is how I would draw an elf type ear. So with that in mind, it really depends on how you want your elf ears to set. You can have maybe the ears come up like this, which I didn't elect to do this way. You can have the big night elf ears like this. I didn't select that just for this one. I selected these nice little cute ears. And if you look at it, all it is a triangle. Here to here like that. And this very top bit right here at the pinnacle, I bring this down here like that. And a quick, nice way to make sure everything's even, if I touch my stylus here, hit shift and bring it through here like this. Ideally, I messed up obviously here. Enter come up here like that. And look for the pinnacle, and it'll be like that. So let's recap what we've done so far. Does anybody have any questions?
It doesn't look like it, no.
Okay, let me redraw that part of the ear here. We got our basic shape of an oval. We're coming down here until we make our V. Taking it back out for a nice, beautiful little cheek. It comes down to a very pointed part of her face or chin. She's an elf. Bring it back down to here. We have our triangles for ears here. And from the corners, from here to here, we make the ears like that. Okay, with the neck, I mean, there's all sorts of things you can do. You can make the neck super wide like this. And like, got a big necky neck. And we don't really want to do that because we're going to draw a girl elf. So we really want to avoid really wide, strong necks unless you're making like the She-Hulk elf. So what I've elected to do, bring my neck down here. Small indicator here. This is your clavicle bone. And this is your trapezius right through here. And that's where we'll stop this rendition here. And we're going to start adding more details to the face. So I'm going to come over here and make my head layer disappear like this. And I'm going to move my face here. Actually, let me do this, my head layer here. Get back on my head layer. Now, if you can see, what I did was I made a line through here like that because it gives it a good indication. It gives me as an artist. It doesn't represent something flat, a plane. This is your forehead through here. Your eyes from here to here. And I've said this before, and I will say it again. Have mercy. If you touch the corner of your eye, be careful not to poke your eye. But if you touch the corner of your eye, indeed I am doing it right now, and run it straight back, you're going to feel this part of your ear. Comes from here to here, and it gets taller and goes out like this. So those are some landmarks that you got to look for. And with manga chicks, dudes, guys, their noses, there's nothing to them. There's just a small dot. So let me get rid of this head layer like this. Come back to my layer that I was drawing on before. And with manga eyes, if I was drawing, okay, let's go back to the American version real quick. Let's do this over a little bit. Bullocks. Get some ears going on here like this. If I was drawing an American version, real quick, cheap, easy way to do eyes is I literally make two circles like this. And then I'll bring the lines through like this. I can start to form them up like so. Same thing with the nose, I make a little V right here. And for the lips, I'll start off with a little circle. But for manga chicks, it's a bit different. We have big, big, big eyes, and that's a good thing. So what we're going to do here is select my brush, bring this closer so you guys can see. It's almost like a broken letter D. Notice this very thick crooks here. Again, it's going to come over here, some nice arching movement. And the crooks comes here like that. And I'm not connecting anything from here to here. I literally just make like a smiley face smile through here. So when I turn my face off, we have eyes. So again, it's nice and round. You'd make a big circle here. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that. I'll erase this area right through here like this. Select my brush, and let's make a big circle. And through here like this. I'm literally going to take this circle here, go past a little bit, come out like this. And then I take my eraser tool and I've got an eyeball. I may actually want to scoot that over a little bit more. And a cool trick here is I'm taking this selection tool here. I'm selecting my eyeball here. I'm hitting Control T, and then I can just move it over a little bit like that. And it's really cool because you can like shrink it down and you make it really big, like, oh my God, I got something coming to my eye. And it's really a nice tool to move things around nice and quickly. So once you get your illustration or whatever you want selected in the space that you want, I hit Enter. So I hit Control D to deselect. I'll turn my face back on. Oops, turn my face back on. Look at that, pretty darn close. Isn't that pretty darn impressive, Mr. Pony Boy? Just say yes.
Mr. Pony?
Mr. Pony. Mr. P to you.
Yeah, looks good.
All right, thank you. All right, for the nose, literally the nose, there's a couple different ways we can do the nose. We can do the slant for the nose like this. I've seen noses that come up to a triangle like this and down to like a diamond shape. Nothing wrong with that. But for this illustration right here, what we're going to do is make a little slot like this, and then a line and a little chin indentation. So that's where I'm going to leave it for the moment because I want to make sure that everyone is doing well. Does anybody have any questions? Raise your hands now.
I don't know. I don't see any.
And the thing you may or may not know is that if you've already raised your hand, you can't raise your hand again. So what's the other way they can get a hold of you?
No, it's if you've been made a presenter, you can't raise your hand.
Oh, I got you.
So just post in the questions panel or in the chat. And when I say chat, I mean the webinar chat, which people end up posting to anyway, not the 3D Buzz chat.
All right.
But I don't see anything, no.
All right. Sounds good to me. Again, a quick recap. I'm going to make another layer here. I'm going to say fun layer. Select a different color. This is where I repeat myself. That's how I learned to draw, by watching people just do this very thing. This basic shape here. Hold on, let me do this. I come down to my head start layer. Let's make this kind of ghosted out. Come back to my fun layer. I've picked blue. Literally an oval through here. I follow this oval down and make sure I put my V in here for the 3/4 view. I come down here to the point for the chin. My eyes are going to be this level through here. I'll bring this out a little bit more like that. So I make a triangle from the corner right here down. Make a triangle. This corner down here. And again, whenever I do my base layer, I like to make different planes of the face. So erase this one right here. So I know that's where the forehead's going to go. I know this area here is the side of the head. I'll go ahead and draw my neck in through here like this. You have your clavicle bone. It comes down to V over here. This is your trapezius muscle. The easy way to remember the trapezius muscle. Other chimpanzees who swing from trees utilize this muscle quite a bit because they swing with a trapeze artist, trapezius muscle. There you have it. There you are. So I made my oval. I got the pointed chin. I've got my ear things going on. I got my neck. I got my clavicle area. This is where the shoulders would go. I come back in here. I make a circle. I build off that circle. And then I use my eraser tool. Let's do this one over here the same way. Make my circle. I build off that circle. That's very important. It's this almost 90-degree angle through here. Bring it down here like this, then I can erase my circle. And that is a quick recap of where we're at right now. So, bye-bye fun layer. We're going to continue to move on. Auf Wiedersehen. Ich liebe dich, mein Liebchen. Okay, so I need to come back to this layer. Turn this layer off. Come back to here. Okay, let's go ahead and do the eyes. We'll give her blue eyes. Now, it's very important not to bring your eyes in the middle like this. You do this, it looks like she's hypnotized or she's scared to death. We don't really want to do this because ideally your eyeball will come up like this and actually goes up through here, and it has, I think, 7 or 8 different muscles in there. So let's try this one more time. Again, manga, they tend to touch, they're a little bit bigger. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this in solid blue. And then I'll get a darker grayish blue here. That's not working out for me. Let's just get a dark color here. And then I'll select my erase tool. And then I've made little bitty highlights. Yay for elf eyes and manga looking chick eyes. So that's how I do that. What we're going to do now is I'm going to come back down to another layer. Back to the head, don't need the head. The hair layer. All right, so hair's going to be fun. I'm going to get a very dark color here. I'm going to bring my, okay, my flow is good, my opacity is good. That was my eraser opacity. Here we go. Let's bring it all the way back to blockets. All right, sorry, I'm talking to myself. Now, if you notice where my head is at, my hair doesn't actually follow that. This is your head. This is your head on drugs. The hair goes above the head, and I'm just flaring it down through here like this. And with manga, again, we're going to do another style here in a moment. With manga, it's a lot of sharp angles. And what I'm doing is doing a triangle up through here, triangle down here like this, and then 2 more elongated triangles. And what I'm going to do now is bring my brush stroke or brush down really, really low, and then come with a lot of little layers in through here like that for the back of her hair. So we're going to say this is the back of her hair here as well. So come down through here like the back of her hair, and I'm going to drag everything away. Bring my brush up a little bit more, following it around. Now again, this is my head, but I'm bringing it out to flare out a little bit. And then we're going to have a break here. So it doesn't really hide the ears. So we definitely want to see the ears because she's a cute little elf. Look at the big long triangles like this. Another triangle here. So I'm going to finish this triangle out like that. And now for these tons of little triangles here. Now literally, I don't take my stylist off at all, off my Wacom. Bring this down here like that. It comes almost like a letter C, a very lazy letter C. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just that simple. 10 almost like icicles. So let's do this. Let's turn that off here, and we can come back in here and start cleaning some areas up. Because you're not going to see this because her hair is in the way. And let's do one more thing because we talked about this elf ear up here. Let's go ahead and give her a couple little areas right here that will hold up the ear. And if you want to get really crazy with it, you can just start, hold on, bring my brush size down. To add a little bit more texture, looks. Texture. Oh, really? Mr. Nelson, stop that.
I just like messing with you.
Seriously, I don't know. Well, actually, I know what I'm doing. There's a little button on my stylus I keep screwing with by accident. And what I'll do now is I'm going to come to my burn tool. Get rid of this here. And let's do this. Let's go ahead and flatten the layers. Layer, flatten, hit OK. And we have a nice little elf chick, very manga look. So let's open it up for some questions real quick. Do we have any questions?
No, it's been fairly quiet.
All right, here's the assignment, what I want you guys to do. We're going to take 5, maybe 8 minutes. It's the top of the hour. We usually do that so you can use a bathroom, get a drink, whatever you got to do. And when we come back, I'll take the first 5 people who want to show what they've done. And again, if I'm moving too fast, do not be afraid to say, hey, Derek, dude, you're moving too fast. I will slow down. I will allow more time. Or you're like, hey, how'd you do that eye again? I don't mind showing it again. This is what I'm here for. I want to answer your questions and help you out the best of my ability. So with that, we're going to take a 5 to 8 minute break. I encourage you, if you're not done working on this, go ahead and finish it so we can look and critique when we get back. If not, go to the bathroom, get something to drink or some munchies, and we will be back in 8 minutes.
Awesome.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. I actually chopped down a cherry tree with a toothpick on my break, a little worn out from it, got some splinters in my hands, feeling pretty good. Mr. Ponyboy himself is bitching, complaining, and moaning how he wants to see the Pony movie but feels weird about it. And I think we should start a Pony Boy fan club and see if we can't raise enough money to give him tickets for himself to go see the Pony movie, enough with popcorn and candy. And we'll talk about that later. Maybe even make T-shirts. So with that said, I'll take the first 5 people. I'd love to see all of them, but in the interest of time and moving on, we got lots to do. We're going to draw an orc next. I actually have another elf all lined up, but because it's only a 2-hour class, I want to give you more realistic perspective. So the first 5, raise your hands if you want to take our screens. I'd love to see what you've done. And for those listening to audio right now, it's cool to kind of watch and listen to the process, what's going on, because I'm going to critique them, probably laugh at some of them, if your name is Steve Curtis. Suck it. Who do we got here?
We have a Mr. Alex Head.
Alex.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, man. How you doing? Good to hear you.
Great,
back.
great.
I love the eyes. Really, really good eyes.
Thank you.
Very well.
And I think I finally got the hair right, or at least better than the thing I was doing last class.
Dude, seriously, have you been working on it on your own?
I have been a little bit.
I can tell.
I kind of fell away from the class a little bit, but I was practicing on the side.
You're the prodigal son. You have returned. I am forever grateful. I'm glad that you're
Indeed,
here.
I'm very grateful for these classes. These are fantastic.
Oh, stop that. Shut the front door. I appreciate you. Tell Nelson it's okay to see the Pony movie by himself.
Always.
Always. Fellow Brony there. Well done. Do you have any questions on what we went over?
Not just yet.
Okay, I love the hair. I love the eyes. And I'm guilty of this. Whenever I draw on my Wacom, I have to purposely think, okay, I need to change the line weight around. And you can't see what I'm doing.
Right.
Like up and down, up and down, up and down. And that's the only gripe that I have. It's just the same brush size. It's not bad. It's their first class. And I am damn proud of you with that hair. And the eyes are beautiful. Well done.
Thank you.
You keep it up.
Alrighty. Looks like next up we have a Mr. Raphael.
Rafi. Holy crap on a cracker. I like that hair.
Oh, thanks.
Dude, this reminds me of the Hercules style Disney did way back in the day. I love your line weight around that. I love how you darken and everyone check this out. Okay, Ralph didn't do exactly what I did. He made it even better. I love that you put that the clothes on. This is damn good, man. But if you look at his line weight, and I'm talking about line weight, it goes thick to thin. And the thing you really want to avoid is like Mr. Head did. And I'm not pointing that out to be mean. He's come a long way. But for like something for production, you don't want to have that solid line all the way around it because, well, it gets boring to the eye. Now, I'm going to show you something here in a moment to help illustrate that. But I love your line weight. That is a great, you keep that, okay? I want to see you drop some color on it. I love her eyes. She's very regal. I love the headband. Oh my God, Mr. Ponyboy, I'm this astounded. Ralph, you made my night, dude.
Thank you, Derek.
Hey, no worries. Any questions, my friend?
Rarity would be.
Well, I hope I can get better in the clothes because that's something I should practice a lot.
We all need to do. You know, Sydney is great with clothes and designing armor too. And I really want to give credit where credit's due. She's a great artist. And that's one of the things that we are going to visit here. Like I said, we're going to learn how to make ruffles. We're going to even visit more of the hair for Mr. Head, ponytails, how to do buns. We're going to really hit on beards because I'm going to draw dwarves. And, you know, how manly is a dwarf without any beard? You know, this doesn't work unless she's a female. And then we all know there's no female dwarves, right? They just pop out of the ground. So well done. I'm proud of you. Who's next?
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Next up, we have Mr. Leonard.
Leonard!
There you go. I went wild.
I love the little rosy cheeks that you gave him. Again, some of you guys are new to this class, and that's cool, but you've not been able to see the progression of the last three artists where they started from. And I'm not saying they were bad. No, there's no such thing as a bad artist.
Oh, I was.
No, I'm not going to say that. It's just you were not an informed artist. You've not taken time to hone your craft. But Leonard, you've come such a long way. I'm proud of you. I love the eyes. I love the highlights. Just well done, all around, dude. Very proud of you.
Yeah. Thank you.
For a Canuck. Next. I love Leonard. He's awesome. When I get to the Buzz Cave, I'm going to look at my pin, so I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for that. All right, who's
You're
next?
most welcome.
Alrighty, next up, that was...
This is number 5, isn't it?
Yeah, so that was the third. So I guess next up is a Jane.
Jane said. And for those who don't know that, Perry Farrell made that phrase very popular with Jane's Addiction. Jane,
Hello.
look at that. Oh my God, Jane, I am proud of you.
I just followed you.
Okay, but there's a difference because before when you followed me, they were similar. And again, this is a lot more similar than your other work. You're getting your hand-eye coordination down. You're starting to understand. I'm just so freaking blown away by you guys. Well done. Okay, the only gripe I have.
I'm getting used to the tablet also.
Good. The only gripe that I have is your ears. And I'm going to tell you why the ears.
Small?
No. The ears are the shape and where you know, the pinnacle, great. But your holding area, your like structurally sound support beams is the word I was trying to think of. They actually need to come up and touch that ridge instead of just floating out in space like that. That's the only gripe that I have with it. I love your eyes. Beautiful, beautiful eyes. I love the hair. I love that hair. I'm really proud of you, Jane.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And is this number 5, Mr. Nelson, coming up?
Yep.
Okay. And again, I'd love to see everybody's, but in the interest in time, we just got a lot to cover. I appreciate the first 5 bold enough and strong enough to show me their work.
Looks
Unless
like
you're Steve.
the last one will be Miss Chelsea.
Chelsea! Wow, look at that. I love the eyes. I love the subtle. I like the tilt of the head as well.
Thank you.
Your ears are beautiful. Now, Jane, if you can look at her ears, again, the shape is similar to yours, but see how the support beams, they actually touch that ridge. We just don't want something floating in space like that because their ears aren't built like that. Even elf ears aren't built like that. So you definitely want to make sure they're touching those ridges. Chelsea, I love your eyebrows. We're talking about line with variation. I love how they become from thick, a nice subtle arch to thin. Really well done.
Thank you.
And I love the purple.
Yeah,
I'm so
trying to
proud of
pick
you.
something that was going to be different than the green you started with.
Got to be different. I understand that. It's all good. All good. I'm proud of you. Really, really. And I'm not even pulling any punches.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Not
You're
used
welcome.
to drawing like this, so this style.
It is different. It's a simple style, but sometimes simplicity can also be, an undoing because it's so simple. So keep up the good work. Well done. All right, if you can take my screen, sir.
All right. So our last victim is Mr. Derek Stevens.
Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can find this just real quick because I want to talk about, God, what was it called? Maybe it was under art. Buzz. Sorry about this, but I really want to hone in on that line with variation thing. If I can't find it. All right, one more look real quick. Yeah, shot in the dark. Tag, sprites, SketchUp, shot in the dark. Here we go. Okay, this is not my drawing, but this is what I did the tryout for the ink thing. And again, I was talking about how I'm hooking you up with this lady and the owner of Shot in the Dark Comics. I'm not super established, but, I make a living at it. And she's like, you still need to try out. And I respect that. So everyone's going to have tryouts. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. But if you look in this area right through here with the hair, see how thick it comes down to a thin point? Different line weights and through here, how this is thin through here, and by a trapezius, it becomes thicker than thin. Even in her hip area, thick, and then it gets thicker and thin. And if you look back through here like this, predominantly the foreground, you want to be more bold. So I think I used a 5 most of the time on this area here, a mix of a 5 and a 3, and this area through here, because this foreground, or this right in your face, so this is even a heavier line with variation. And you can tell how thin these line weights are from over here, and way in the back, super thin lines. It gives that illusion of creating depth. So it was a fun page to do. I actually talked to Steve about it. I'm like, you know what? I might give up drawing, just be an inker, a glorified tracer with style and flair. It was a lot easier. This took like 45 minutes because as a comic book artist, right now doing 2 books at the same time. And, writers have very specific visions, so you have to get the angles right. And it is not easy. It takes time, but if, it was worth doing, you do it right. So anyway, that's the quick inking thing here. Let me find my orc for us. That was the elf. I'll show you what she was going to look like. More of a traditional, I guess, was what I'm looking for. Fusion style is what I do for my comic book stuff. But we're going to skip her tonight because I wanted to look at the orc. Okay. Again, I'm not going to go into the entire body looking thing right now, but I wanted to do a little bit more of the body. This is the first class. We're going to continue to build. And we're going to explore all sorts of crazy, cool, awesome avenues. This is my, let's see, that's that layer here, head, which is actually head and body. I'm going to create another layer here, say head 02. I'll hit enter, and I'm going to start coming with a black, looking at opacity 00. And actually I'm going to bring my flow down, or opacity. Let's see. There we go, down to about 25%. All right, so go ahead and build your building blocks here. Again, this image is, I'm going to bump it up to 300 DPI. Roughly 7 by 10, 7 width, 10 high, 300 DPI. Hit OK. You'll see me jump a little bit here. Dots per inch are very important whenever you do something for production. It's going to be 300 dots per inch. So when it prints up, it needs to be in a TIFF format. Everything gets nice and smooth. It does not look as pixelated. You don't want that in your renderings. So right now we're starting off with a side profile. And again, what I do is I literally start with my circle. Make sure down head 2. I draw a circle here. Bring it out through here. Bring it straight down. So if I turn my head level layer off, this is what I come up with. Come up the circles, have the base of the cranium. Come up here, I have where the top of the skull's going to go. Just a flat plane, almost like if it was like this, it'd be like a knight or a spaceman's helmet. Come down here to the point, nice angular jaw like this. Turn this layer back on, and then I'll build my neck through here. The most important thing, not everyone has, really defined low body fat, but we're going to say this orc does. The tip of my chin comes in like this and down. And then back through here, the actual name is really long. I call them strap muscles. And it goes right behind your ear. So when I turn my layer back on here, I have this built. Coming back down here for the shoulder area. And I'm dragging all the way around. For my chest, I build my rib cage first like this, because I know my sternum is going to go through here, and then all the bones, the ribs, going to attach through here, and then his latissimus dorsi, these lat muscles through here, making nice and wide like that. So what I'm going to do is get rid of this layer here, come back to here, bring my opacity up a lot. I'll give you guys a few seconds to kind of catch up. That's how I do the building blocks of this orc-looking creature. So I'm going to come up through here, and I'll make it nice and dark for you guys, tracing it along here. His nose is a bit pointed. Let's zoom in here for you guys to get a better look. Come in here where the mouth is at. And again, because he's in the work, I want that lip kind of jutting out like that so we can put some tusk here in a little bit. Nice, strong jawline, or chin. The jawline through here like this. This comes down at the swooping angle back here like this. Now you can do it that way. You can also, if you want, just bring it straight down here like that. Actually, I think that'd be a stronger look for him. We have your latissimus dorsi that come in through here like this. And your shoulder, your deltoid. Remember, I built that circle through here, so I'm just going to follow that circle around like this. Bring it over here like this. Ideally, your deltoid is breaking up or broke up in 3 different heads. You have the inner, the middle, and the out. So what I'm going to do is at this peak here, I'll go ahead and build this for a little more stridations because he's got low body fat, thicker to thin line weight through here. You have what's starting to be your tricep area. The tricep is the back of your muscle, back of your arm. And I always tell guys, if you want big arms, you work your triceps out like crazy because tri meaning 3, bicep, bi meaning 2. There's a 3rd muscle on your tricep, so you build that up and it looks bigger. And it is represented by a V-type shape. And through here like that. Your bicep, again, his arm actually would be coming at an angle like this. So I did puff it up a little bit like that. And then we'll do a stridation in here where it actually be broken up. So it leaves us with our pectoral muscle. The pecs are going to come right by the deltoid, right through here, and then I'll put a little black spot, black looking area right through here, and bring it under. Big barrel chest, and I'm gonna. And this is for you, Mr. Head, so I don't get too boring. I'm pumping up my brush size. Coming up through here like this. Trace along here like this a little bit. Bring my brush size down again. And if you, the good rule of thumb for inking and for line weight variation, I always like telling you about your nose. If you look, you poke yourself right between your eyes, not super hard, but you have that bone there. That skin's very thin. And trace it down to the tip of your nose, and that's, you know, there's cartilage there. So it's going to be a thicker line weight at the tip of your nose under to the bottom of your lip. So wherever there's bone, like this area right here where his ribs are coming out, I'll make it a little bit thinner. And then I can come in through here and start giving pectoral range and then striations for his latissimus dorsi. My chin, I bring from the tip like this down to here. And what's not here, I'm going to show a little jump like that where the clavicle bone would come through. And I trace this area back down here like that. And then your strap muscles will come down here like this. And one more, and let's make them kind of veiny and strained like that. So we still have some of the green showing. Sorry about that. I'll just go ahead and erase some of that like that. I guess not bad because a lot of orcs are green. So I have this basic outline here, and I'm going to take a few minutes to see if there's any questions, because I don't mind repeating myself or going over again. Mr. Ponyboy, do we have any questions or comments or concerns about what we've done so far? I don't want to go too fast.
No. Looks like you are doing pretty good.
Thank you. All right, so I got this general outline done. And again, building up the blocks, the circle, the face helmet plate right through here, the big barrel chest. I drew my rib cage in through here and brought my lats down. The striations in the deltoids, you have 3. The tricep kicking out back here. A little bit more room for the bicep through here. I think this is almost a little bit too much black. Let's take my eraser tool and that's a little bit better. All right, so we got this going on like that. So let's look at his face. There, woo, looky. No face, face. I'm going to create another layer. I'm going to call this, not that, fun face. Now, these are just small indicators. Let me bring my brush down. Eyes aren't really triangles like this. They are in my world of comic books. So I'm literally making his eyes small and squinty. I'm really taking that eyebrow up through here to give it a nice look. And then, because I want him to be carved in, his face, low body fat, I'm really going to accentuate the cheekbones. And again, to illustrate another point to the ear, if you trace your eye from here to here, that's going to be the tip where your ear starts. So because I have this landmark here, I can come over here, and I like pointed ears, but I made these ears a little bit different. I gave them kind of a little wisp. And I'll connect it to the jawline, the inner part of the ear, or the outline. And this again, Jane, I want you to connect it from here to here, and then you have the last one right through here like that. So what I'm going to do is take this layer off here, and I'm going to go ahead and erase. Oops. Get off that layer. I'll go ahead and erase all this through here. if I get on the right bloody layer. Go and erase all this, and we will start from scratch again. This is where I repeat myself, and it's not a bad thing. I just want to make sure you guys and gals are following along. All right, so going back to the basic outline, it's on the face layer. So we're going to make the face. I have my brush selected. We're going to start off with the squinty eyeball. Now, I don't want the eyes like right through here. That's way, way too close. So I'm going to bring it back here. A nice triangle like that. For his nostril, it literally is this right here. It's thicker, comes up through here. And let's put a little more detail. I'm going to take my brush down a little bit. I'm going to make some ridges right through here like this. I'll leave it at this size here. I want to carve in his cheekbones. And from here, again, it's not a solid line. I suppose you can do that, but what I'm doing here, skip here, and I'll go ahead and bring down to the tip of this chin. And remember when I said I wanted that mouth to kind of jet out? And the reason being, from this very tip here, pull this lip through here, and maybe give him a little indicator here, something underneath the chin. And now what I can do is I can start drawing tusk. And these are nothing more than triangles. And to throw depth in here, the other reason I wanted that lip to come out, I wanted one triangle to come out here like this. And it gives it more of a 3D, it gives it more volume. That's, I guess, the word I'm looking for. So I'll pause here for a second. Again, open it up if you guys have any questions or comments.
No.
Does anybody need more time to catch where we're at? Raise your hand for that. I don't mind pausing for that either.
Looks good. Our Wolf says he needs time.
Okay, we'll get a little bit of time.
Alrighty.
All right, so again, a small triangle, a little slit for the eye. We put some ridges on his nose. That mouth is jutting out here because I definitely wanted to throw that tusk in here to give it more depth. And we have our landmark, our eye. So I know if I come to a straight line, right here is where the ears should start. So I'm going to come up here like this. Let's make the ear out like this. Then I like to do a couple of flaps. I'll come back down here. Let me bring my brush size up a little bit. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to start at this point here like this. Come down here. Then I'll build one. Bullocks, really? Build 1, 2, and then 3. So I have my ear going on. Now I have to draw the eyebrow. Very angular, very mean looking. And what I'll do is here, the eyes, and make it a little more thick. Put a little eyelash right here, again looking for volume. And we have what is an orc face. So this is what we've come up so far. We built the head, the mask. Through the mask we cut in our detail. We talked about the deltoids having 3 shapes to them. The inner, middle, the outer. Tricep being bigger. It's jaunted out. It's flexed. Bicep is a little bit big. He's an orc. Latissimus dorsi coming down through here. His big pectoral range. I don't like that line at all. Pectoral range through here. 1 pec, 2 pec. Clavicle. How his rib cages come out through here. And then we put some striations in here for his stomach. A couple more little bits of lines. So let's see. Let's look at hair. Here's my hair. Talk about a ponytail real quick. Not a lot of work to it. Pretty darn easy. And what we're going to do with this is I'm going to come up here and get really close for you guys. I literally just made a little box like this to hold the ponytail. And for the hair, hair's kind of like smoke in comic books. You can make it flow and do all sorts of things that you can't really do with normal dynamics in the world. And again, I'm a fusion artist, so a lot of my stuff's very angular. So I just literally, maybe I'll make a striation through here like this. And then I just had fun with it. That was my basic outline. And if the hair's going to come through here, we'll make it kind of a tall top knot looking thing. And I'm going to do this again by hand without this, layer on the back of the hair. Little sideburn action going on here. This is all pulled back. And then I gave him some wisp of hair, maybe some hair through here like this. Just go ahead and get rid of this hair level or layer. Oops. And I just put that all on my face level layer. Wow, hold on. Let's do this. Step backwards, step backwards, step backwards, step backwards, step backwards, step backwards. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. Step backwards, step backwards, step backwards, step backwards. Okay. So let's get rid of the hair. We'll keep this little ponytail looking thing here. So I put this at the base of his skull, and it actually may not give him any hair right through here. I just don't think that he's too GQ. He's supposed to be an orc. Now for this, what I might do is come in here a little bit closer, bring my brush size down a little bit, and put some detail into it. And little squiggly lines right through here. Some decorations sort of thing. Circle, dot, dot, cootie shot. So now when I pull back, it looks like it has depth. It looks like it's more than this little box. And here I go. Fun with hair. I'll build everything out through here, give them a big top knot, and wrap some hair around through here like this. So I'm going to come back through here. And more of the hair that comes up like this. And put some striations through here. We'll make it nice and thick. And we'll take it like this. And then we can come in here like that. What I'll do is bring my brush size up a little bit more, and then say on the inside, I'll follow this around here, give it a cool look so it's not a boring read. Go ahead and come up through here like this. So he's kind of looking like a genie. That's kind of cool. I like it. So we have an orc's face. We have the eyes, we have the ears, we have the hair, we have the muscle mass. So let's have some fun by putting some stuff. It's the technical term, stuff on him. And my stuff area was like this. But I'm just going to go ahead and draw it on for you. On this layer here. I'll give him a necklace. All the necklace is a circle, a line, then circle with a little tooth looking thing, circle, little tooth thing, circle over here to give it depth for the ring around his bicep and tricep area. I'm going to come across here like this. And I use my eraser tool. It's on a different layer. Bullocks, bullocks, bullocks. Come down here to the head level. And I erase how thick I want it to be. I'll show you why here in a second. I guess I'll just stay here in this level. That's fine. Or layer. And I'm going to round it out like this. where I erased, round it out like this where I erased, and then I can bring this through here like that, bump up my brush size a little bit, trace that line a little bit more like that, bring my brush size down, and then I'll draw some circles, some stones of some sort, like that there. So we have a necklace really quickly put on there, adds. We have this little bracelet looking thing through here, and I like the idea of having some sort of scar, maybe a scar for the eye. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to layer, flatten image, I'm going to say OK, and then I'm going to go back to layer, new layer. Actually, I just come down here. 1, 2. I need 3 layers. This top layer here is going to be a multiply layer right here. You find the multiply layer right here like this. Come down to layer 2, and then I make it another layer. So now my multiply layer is on top of this. There's a layer underneath here. And I write, I'll say burn, B-U-R-N. And what I can do is now we'll pick a greenish color. I like to start off light, and whenever I paint I always start light because I can add and make it darker, but it's harder to make something darker lighter. So again, going for light here, hitting my B for brush. Now watch this. When I paint over this, or are you not working? Multiply layer. My lines should be showing through. Mr. Nelson, what did I just do wrong? Multiply layer, multiply layer. All right, start coming in through here. Bullocks. Okay, I'll just start being careful. We'll do the quick concept piece looking thing. Almost like a marker comp. And I'm just throwing stuff around, and I have to figure out why my multiply layer did not work. Henceforth, live class. And tell you what I'll do is I want to get kind of a grayish tone right through here. Bring my brush down a little bit like this. Maybe put some stripes here like this. Some sort of war paint. And then we'll have, because Chelsea pointed out purple, just for her, a pinkish purple. Now we made a really quick orc. Ta-da! Less than, like, literally, if I had to do this, it'd be less than 5-10 minutes for me to do. So there you have your orc. I like him. It's a good read. So any questions real quick? Because I do want to take some screens and critique and see where you guys are at.
No, it looks like everybody is good to go.
Awesome. So let me take some screens. Let me take the first 5. Who's bold enough, strong enough, to let me see what they've done so far.
All right. What about you, Sydney? You were complaining earlier about me not jumping into your screen.
Take it.
Take Sydney's?
Hell yeah.
All right, Sydney. Here you go. Here's the screen.
Nice! See, you too can do fusion style. Are you muted?
I unmuted her. So
Can you
Can you hear
talk?
me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. When did I say I couldn't do fusion?
Yeah, several times. Like, I can't do that fusion style. It sucks. I don't like it.
I don't think I've said that.
Really? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Really impressive. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
I love the pectoral region. I love your stomach, your abs, your deltoids are kicking. Your line width variation, I like that kind of sketchy style that you got going on. Beautiful freaking ear. Love it to death. Well done.
Danke.
Bitte. Bist du Deutsch sprechen?
Nope.
That would be 9. Okay. And I like what you did with the hair. You gave him like kind of a very sensible top knot ponytail.
Yeah, I said no to the long hair, sorry.
Well, that's all good because, if you have really long hair, it's beautiful for comic books. But if you're a warrior, you don't want to have a lot of hair because that crap can get pulled, and where the hair goes, the head goes, and the head goes, the body goes. So that's a really quick look into what concept class is for the MMO. Because, we literally break stuff down like that. Well, why do you want to have long hair? Because it can be pulled on. It can do this. Oh, that's brilliant. That's a good idea. We maybe shouldn't do that long hair. I like mine. It was pretty and flowing. It was a Sassoon look. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. But again, that's a quick look on concepts. That's a brilliant and justifiable reason why to have short hair. And I'm always bitching and complaining. You just can't say, oh, because it looks cool. There's got to be functionality behind it. And I think I just seen your dad's roll his eyes like, whatever, because I've said that a couple of times. It's like, you can't tell the students that. You say it's cool. So well done, Sid. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who's next?
alrighty, next up is a Mr. Wolf.
Wolf! Can't wait to see what you got.
Uh-oh, it's not that good.
Don't say that. That's good, dude. What I really like about this, and seriously as a blessing, you can still see your construction lines through all this. That's really important. Did you give him a beard? That's a Derek beard.
A beard? No.
Well, okay, that's just a jaw. It looks like the beard I have on right now is a jawline. Okay.
Yeah, I'm struggling to keep up, but yeah.
Well, again, then raise your hand and lead by example. Say, dude, slow down a little bit. Because if you're having trouble with it, chances are other people are having trouble with it, catching up. And I do this 16 hours a day sometimes, so I do a little bit fast and I don't mean to. So definitely raise your hand. Okay, promise me?
Yeah, I did say it once, but yeah.
No, that's good. I don't want you to move like Grandma Moses, but if you need more time, that I'm all about that. Really good job. And what, the last email you sent me, I think you should definitely go for it, okay?
Okay.
All right, awesome job. 2 more victims and we'll wrap class up.
Alrighty, CWD Knack. Who are you? Are you Clinton?
Hello? Do you have a mic?
What? No.
What?
Okay, I'll wait for his name to pop up because I don't know what his name is, and it gets weird. Okay, let's jump into Clinton.
I love that drawing, whoever this is.
That's me, Wolf, still.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I like your drawing, Wolf. Well done.
Thanks.
Quite welcome. All right, we're going to jump into who? What? Where?
Mr. Clinton.
Mr. Clinton. Nice. And you know what? I want to say this to everybody right now because obviously Mr. Clinton does not have a tablet and he's taking pictures or scanning it. And I encourage you guys to do that too. You don't need a tablet to make a class work. And this is a brilliant example of doing that. I like it. Your orc, that's a different looking orc, man. I love the hair and the top knot you got going on. He's like middle-aged orc. I used to be a little bit, more sexy. No, I'm not so sexy. I'm married. I got a couple, 4 little orcs running around, but you know, he still looks powerful. I love the deltoid. You got your bicep. I see where you're starting to put a gauntlet on him. I love the lips. It's a very cool style. Well done. Maybe he doesn't have his microphone on. Is he muted?
No. He might be muted on his end.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Mr. Clinton, great job.
So,
Last
one. Let's go ahead and jump into Mr. Leonard.
Okay. Leonard, look at you
Here we
go,
go.
buddy.
What do you think, Derek?
I love the ear. And the head is a little bit elongated, but for an orc, you know, it can work because we're not drawing a human. It's a humanoid. I love the jawline and that pointed chin that you got going on. And I love how you're doing now more line with variation. I mean, that shadow underneath the pectoral region to the latissima dorsi. Man, dude, you've come such a long way. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, there's a big difference from my start from the stick figures.
Well, you know, next
Very
time,
happy.
I'm glad. I'm very glad. Next time what we'll do is if you don't mind using yourself as an example, I'd love to show them where you were a few classes back to where you're at now. And seriously, every class that you get into, you just become better and better and better. That's a goal for everybody. Like when I taught anatomy and physiology, I mean, I knew what I was drawing, but when I had to go back and study for class, okay, this is what the gastrus nemus is at. Oh, this is, you know, this like the deltoid. I knew it was 3 striations, but, oh, okay, inner, outer, this. It made me a better artist every time I do this. And it's a blessing to be able to come and teach you guys. And also, I'm selfish because it does make me better. So it makes me better. Hopefully it makes you guys better. So well done,
yeah.
Mr. Leonard. Proud of you.
Thank you
Keep it
very
up,
much.
dude. You're welcome, man.
You bet.
And I've been blown away tonight, Mr. Ponyboy, by everybody's ability here and what they're doing. I know this is the first class, and I'm going to tell you why homework is so, so important. And I hate basketball. I suck at basketball. True life story. 12 kids tried out for 11 positions. I was the only kid who did not make it. They wanted me to be manager. That set me off in my punk rock phase. Screw the man. Screw all that. Oi, 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 suck it. So I became an artist instead. Couldn't jump, couldn't shoot. They were right to cut me. But I say this to say Michael Jordan. I can respect the man. He was awesome. What he could do is like he could fly and he could shoot. His dribbling skills were brilliant. He was also cut from, I think, his college team, or it was maybe a high school team. And it just made him want it that much more. And then he came back the next year and he made it. And it made when he plays, it looks like it's effortless. Like I should be able to jump like that because it doesn't look hard at all. But what you don't see is all the hours that he has practiced over and over and over again. And I've said this story, but I know we got some new people in here. A guy named Christopher Shy. I actually lived with him in Texas for a little bit. He was kind of like a mentor to me. And great artist, brilliant artist. And he's like, you want to know how you get better? I'm like, yeah, is it a pill? Do I need 8 hours of sleep? Is it a vitamin? What do I need to do? He's like, the secret to being a great artist is there is no secret. You just have to do it over and over and over again. Right now, my repertoire, I probably have like 5 to 10 really good poses I just, bam, throw out, especially for concepts because I do them over and over and over. Where it gets tricky when I'm doing the comic books, if they want a certain angle, I'm like, oh crap, how do I do that? Then I have to go look at anatomy books. I look for references, and then I remember how the body moves and all the muscles that I've learned. So it's not effortless to me, and I still struggle at times too. And I share that with you to say that I will get better, and if you practice, you will get better, which ties in with homework. What I want is I want an orc face and an orc body and one elf face. So you have 3 illustrations you have to do. Do the body of an orc, and a lot of you guys may not have taken the anatomy physiology class. That's all right. I encourage you to go back and look at them. It's a pretty comprehensive series. But that's what I want for your homework next week. 1 orc body, 1 orc face, and 1 elf face. And it may take you several different tries to do it, and that's fine. Most of the art that you've seen that I showed you today with the exception of the inking one. I mean, that was a one shot, one try. That was easy because I was literally tracing someone else's lines. But for every illustration that I've showed you today, there's probably 2 or 3 that were wadded up and thrown in the trash can. It's okay to mess up. So recapping one more time, we learned a manga type elf face. We really talked about the ears, the eyes, and we talked a little bit about line weight variation. We illustrated the orc side view, his tusk, his massive body. Again, really hit home with the line weight underneath the chest, how you make things pop, playing with hair. So your homework is one orc body, and you can put him in a tuxedo if you want to. I don't care. Just make it look good. An orc body, an orc face, and an elf face. That's your homework. I'll ask any questions and we'll wrap it up. Any questions, anybody?
Nope.
Now, Mr. Nelson, can you tell them where to turn homework in at?
When the video is posted this weekend, I'll go ahead and post the homework as well. You'll be able to click on your student dashboard and submit it from there. You'll get a notification about it when the homework submission becomes available.
Awesome. That is cool. I appreciate everybody. Feel free to PM me, Facebook me, Derek Stevens. I'd love to hear from you. A lot of artists that are in my class, we're all Facebook friends, and I get to see what they post. I encourage you, if you upload something, make it a JPEG. It doesn't have to be a TIFF, anything like that. Just a JPEG, not a bump or a BIP or whatever. Just a normal JPEG. I appreciate everybody being here in class tonight. Really excited about everything. I can't remember what's next class. Can you recall what I'm teaching next, Mr. Nelson?
I believe you are doing the MMO concept art next Wednesday.
Well, but I mean for the fantasy art class.
Oh, next week, you mean?
Yes, next.
Yeah, next week you are going to be doing fairies.
Fairies. So, again, I love hot chicks, hot women. We're going to talk about ruffles because we're going to put them in dresses, maybe even throw a cool looking hat on one or two. We're going to do some dynamic poses. We're going to throw a little bit of background in there so they're just not sitting on their ground or floating, maybe sitting on a mushroom or some sort of like plant. We're going to have a lot of fun next week. So definitely tune in for that. With that, keep your feet on the ground, your ankles slightly above them. Peace out. On behalf of yours truly, Mr. Derek D. Stevens and Ponyboy Nelson, I appreciate you. Keep drawing and turn that homework in. Thank you very much, guys.